It's tea time. Y'all ready to hear about my preschool crush? You don't want to miss this story, and y'all already know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and let's get right into this story time. The tea is hot. Growing up in Jamaica with my mom, Starfruit, as y'all know her, Starfruit always made sure that her kids were on top of their game, like education-wise. So she would be that mom that would be coming home from work and picking up all the bottle covers to use as counters while teaching us. Now, we weren't so privileged back then in terms of having an abacus, because maybe they hadn't thought about it, or maybe my parent just didn't know about it. Bottle covers was what she used to teach us while she was cooking. This is how she made sure that we were always at the same level the class is or above the class. So she would be in the kitchen. Now, if y'all mom did this, let me know in the comments. She would be in the kitchen cooking up a storm and had me there on my little chair, and she would be like, Cris, 2 + 2, and I had to get the counters and put 2 here and 2 there, then count them all up and be like, okay, 4. And then she had me studying my timetable, so I had to be like 2 1s 2, 2 2s 4, 2 3 6, and then she would randomly just throw, says 3 5 7 4s. And that's how I learned my timetable. She literally was cooking and teaching at the same time. So shout out to Starfruit. I love you for that and more. So Starfruit would ensure that I already know the basics. So by the time I got to preschool, or basic school as we call it in Jamaica, I was like right at the same level with the class, or above average if you want to say that. So I got to basic school. I'm not going to tell you how the first day went of basic school, because that's a story for another time. Like, it was wild. When I say wild, let's just say I'm one of those kids that was terrible the first day of school. Now, after I was settled into the idea of going to school, of course, I started making friends. There was this one guy, well, let's not call him a guy. There was this one kid that I saw, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm telling you what I think. No, I don't know how I was thinking about it then when I was a kid, but I was like, oh, he looks nice. I want to be friends with him. That's what I was thinking. Or I hope the younger me would be thinking. But now I would be like, oh, yeah, that's a nice guy over there. So anyways, I saw him and I was like, oh, that kid is cute. I want to be friends. So of course, the teacher placed us in different groups and sections. And most of the time they do it by your last name. So unfortunately, I was closer to the teacher because, A, B, C, D comes at the front of the alphabet. So I wouldn't be where like X, Y, and Z was. Anyways, guys, so she placed us and it worked out like in God's favor. I'm not gonna say mine, I'm gonna say God's favor. It worked out that we had last names that put us close to each other, so I was excited about that. So I'm like, okay, now I get to be friends with him. So obviously y'all know that I'm a talker even though I'm shy. So I said, hi, what is your name? And then he told me his name and I said, okay, my name is Crystal. And then he's like, you got a pretty name. My head was like, woohoo! That's all I needed to know. You think I got a pretty name? So I was there blushing because I'm like, okay, he thinks I got a pretty name. He was light skinned and he had mixed hair and he had brown eyes, like those cat eyes. So he had a look. He had a look that as you see him, you notice him, okay? So I'm like, all right. So we gonna be friends now. So whenever it's recess time, we go out together, and the teachers are at fault too, because listen, they'll be like, okay guys, hold hands. Yeah, so we have to hold hands, like, listen, Mr. Brown Eyes, if you hold my hand, you can't hold nobody else hand, because I may go hold hand from today. So that was us all the time throughout the whole day. When I'm going to the break room for our breaks or our little snack, as you guys would call it, then we go together. Like we started being a team, right? So it was just mutual. It was nothing out of the way. It was just neutral, right? But we were just close and friends. And then like when our parents come pick us up, like he would want to come with me, or I'm like, bye. Cause Starfruit make sure to tell me, don't go nowhere with strangers, don't go nowhere with people you don't know, stay at school until I come pick you up. So of course I couldn't go with him. So I'm like, bye. Until I remember this one day, the teacher was doing math. And I should have known from them times that I don't like maths, I mean, I'm gonna do it. My policy is I'm gonna do it, pass it, so I don't have to do it again. But I hate math. Like, if it's not calculating money or something where gonna help me go towards money, I don't want to deal with it, okay? I'm an English person. So the teacher was teaching math, and I remember I already knew that because I know 2 times 10 is what, and I know 2 plus 2 is what. So I remember going under the table because I was a chatterbox, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you will see on my report card, it will say very attentive student but talks a lot, or outstanding student, does her work well but talks a lot. Like that was my report, okay? Like it's just what it is. But like I said, I do my work. So after the teacher put the math on the board, I did mine quickly, and then I proceeded to chat. So after we were talking, she was like, Crystal, don't disrupt the class, don't distract the other kids. So I'm like, okay. So I was upset. So I took my upset self and be like, you know what? I'm not talking to anybody. And I went under the desk. So when I went under the desk, he came under the desk. So he's like, what are you doing? And I said, I'm hiding. And he said, why are you hiding? I said, I'm hiding from the teacher because she said I talk too much. So he's like, I don't think you talk too much. I'm like, you don't? He's like, no, I like when you talk to me because I always think you're funny. And I'm like, you think I'm funny? Oh my God, he thinks I'm funny. So anyways, we were under the desk having our own little conversation. And then he was like, yeah, I really like when we have playtime and we go outside, and I always think you're funny. Like, you're different from the other girls. And I'm like, really? And I'm like, oh my God, he thinks I'm funny. And then that's when I went like, I went in for the kiss, y'all. I went in for the kiss, like that little kiss, like, y'all know. Yeah, so. And then we were just quiet under his table when we heard the teacher said, Crystal, brown eyes. And I'm like, oh my God, this lady done caught us under the table. When I was like, oh my God, did she catch us? And then she said, where are you guys? And then I came up like, here I am, teacher. Because I knew for sure she caught us, but then she didn't. So that was just our little secret until now. You guys know that, of course. So yeah, it was like a real crush. Oh my God. So that was my first kiss. Like, man, the day was like steamy. Like I was smiling from ear to ear for the rest of the day. I'm like, oh my God, he's so cute. He's such a cute kid, and he's my friend, and he likes holding my hands. He thinks I'm funny. And then we kissed, or I kissed him. Yeah, we kissed. Like, y'all not telling me nothing, but anyways. So that was it. I was happy for the rest of the day, and then I went home, he went home, and then the next day I got to school and I don't see him, and I was sad because I'm like, what happened? He didn't like me anymore? Like, I thought he said I was funny and cute, and I was sad. So I was just sitting at my desk doing my work when the teacher was marking the register, and when she got to his name, I heard the teacher from the other class saying, oh, brown eyes, he got in early this morning. His mom brought him in, but then he's not feeling well, so he's in the nursery. So I'm like, the nursery? Oh, my crush didn't ditch me. Why was I even so crazy to think that my crush would have ditched me? Like, he said I was cute. But I'm like, he's in the nursery, he not feeling well, nobody wanted to say this. Like, if it was not, I'd be like, wait, my man's sick and nobody said anything. So You guys know who was missing after that, right? Yep, me. Took up myself, went around the nursery. He was sick. I think he had maybe the stomach bug because he was throwing up, and because he's so light skinned, he was red in the face. And I'm like, I remember feeling so bad for him. You know what I did, guys? So he was like turned on his side and on his little pillow, because we all brought pillows to school. That was a requirement for nap time. So I just went beside him on his little pillow and I like hugged him around like this, and that's where I fell asleep. Like, class was done for me for the day because my man was sick. Must sit beside him, okay? The teacher, when she couldn't find me, she was looking all over the place because now a kid is missing. So they came to the nursery and they saw me well hugged and cuddling my crush because he wasn't feeling well. So they just let us stay there and have our little nap time until Starfoot came and picked me up. Starfoot asked me about it, but she wasn't mad about it or anything. Like, she knew I could do my work. So that day, she probably thought I was just tired. So, okay, whatever. Now, this is where it got hot, guys, because now Brown Eyes and I didn't stop right there, because we kept going close and close throughout the entire preschool. So you know, it's like class 1, 2, 3. So from class 1 all the way to 3, we stuck together, like helping each other. Like, I would help him with his work. Like, when I didn't want to eat something, he would help me hide it, because I don't like vegetables like back then. So he would, like, when they're like, guys, you have to eat your carrots and stuff like that, he like, I'll take it for you. You want me to hide it under the table? And I'm like, yeah. I thought it was so cute. So we got to class 3 now, and after class 3, this is where you graduate, right? So if I was in Jamaica, I would show you, I would pull out the album and show you guys the photo. But we held hands from break time in class 1 all the way to graduation, because he was my marching partner. They made sure that we marched together, because trust me, I was not gonna hold nobody else's hand and he was not gonna hold anybody else's hand, okay? So they made us march together in class 3 and hold hands, and we stood side and side, even though I was shorter than him, but we stood side by side for the photo, and our parents made us take like pictures together. And it was just like a nice, cute crush moment. We went to different school after the graduation, but like we still crossed paths, because I was in something called Red Cross, kind of like a Girl Guide, but we were all white with the tie. And he was in I think it was cadets, or maybe they call it Cub Scouts, something like that. I'm not sure. Like, let me know in the comments if you guys know what I'm talking about. So when they have their group meetings, we would all gather at the same place. I would see you, and he was still like, I don't know where he's at right now or what he's doing, but I did saw him like a few years back. And guys, get this, he still looks at me like he has that whole crush. Like, it was like a soulmate thing. Like, he looked at me like, hey, what you doing now? Like, we should try to get back together, even though like in preschool we were together, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Like, he still has that look in his eye, like his eyes are like brown and glassy, and he just looks at me like in awe, and I'm like, oh my god, it's you. And he's like, yeah, I'll never forget your name. And I'm like, wow, that's so cool. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's the end of my little crush story. Like, I don't have a contact for him now, so I don't know. I think maybe if I did have a contact for him now, like, we would at least be friends, because he was a cool person. Like, throughout the whole period, he was a like just cool person. I think maybe now I would probably look at him as like a brother. Yeah, but he was a cool person. But anyways, thanks for watching. That's the end of the video, and as always, you know what to do. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next story time. Bye.